All right, we're back with the second part of reacting to the this guy's recommendations on heroes to add to, well, heroes and villains, I guess, to add to Marvel Rivals. We did the first half. Let's go do a little bit of recap here. He was talking about Daredevil, Taskmaster, Juggernaut, Kitty Pride, Yondu, and Vision. Some of them are good ideas. Some of them I wasn't too fond of. Looks like we've got 7 more to go over. So let's see what we think about his other 7
So I said I
suggestions.
did not want any heroes that are kind of too similar to other ones, and
This is going to be really hard to do. Like that's going to get really hard to do really quickly in Rivals.
I think a lot of people are going to see this one as that. But let me finish. She-Hulk. She-Hulk it's got to come to the game. I would love She-Hulk to come to the.
I don't know. She's not the Hulk. She definitely ain't the Hulk. She's a lot like the Hulk, but she's not the Hulk. Down the road, sure. Right now, no. There's better choices. Like I would put Juggernaut. Oh, he's saying duelist for her? Hang on.
The game, but I don't want it to be exactly like the Hulk. I do see her being a Vanguard probably, even though she's going to be a much more athletic.
Oh, I was looking. I couldn't see around my avatar there. Could not see around my avatar. Did not realize he was going with a Vanguard. Okay, less interested in this idea now.
Hulk, right? More of like a WWE player than like what Hulk does in the smashing. Like maybe she has, a similar look and kit to him, but does things a lot more agile and quickly. And I could, maybe something like an objection move. I don't know what you would do with her kit, but I think like a pro wrestling inspired influence athletic style is the way that I see.
So what I'm hearing is a grappling style tank or grappling Vanguard. No, pass.
Her working, whereas, Hulk again is more of that big bruiser that we see. Probably stays in She-Hulk form as well. I don't see her transforming in and out of that. Maybe she does, but She-Hulk, I think, eventually will come to the game, potentially. But
they really shouldn't do the whole transformation thing. Like, if they do She-Hulk, having her go to her human form, as much as it works with the whole Bruce thing, I don't like the copy pasting that onto another character. Wait for She-Hulk. The game's not ready for She-Hulk.
But not for a long time. I know people want her to maybe be a skin for the Hulk, but their models are way too different for that to be a thing. So if she does come to Rivals, it would be through probably a new character. Now for the next hero, I'm proud of this one, guys. And this is would be our second.
Curious. He's proud of this one. Let's see. Place your bets down below on what you think this character is. Based off the shadow, I have no idea.
I guess it kind of.
Wait. Ant-Man or Giant Man?
Stance switch like Cloak and Dagger. I just have Ant-Man on the image here, but Ant-Man
Ooh.
in the Wasp. Ant-Man in the Wasp is a extremely cool concept to have. Obviously, they go together well, and Ant-Man could kind of instruct the ants to do different things, right?
He would be an interesting character. I don't see him necessarily being a duelist, though. I would see him more in the Vanguard role. If you put him in the Vanguard role, he's got to be big. Okay, maybe duelist makes more sense in Marvel Rivals.
So you could have the ants like attack the enemy. Maybe Ant-Man is more of the cloak, but probably even better at DPS there. And then Wasp is more of the healer type. Obviously, Wasp allowing them to fly, and then has maybe more of range stuff. Where Ant-Man's
I kind of like that idea. Like making him a Cloak and Dagger-esque character. Although, I do not want a healer the size that as small as Wasp can get. I don't see any way that working out well. Unless Wasp stays full size. I don't know. Mixed feelings about this one.
bit more, in-person combat. He can get super big on his ults, or maybe tiny to, I don't know how you would do the tiny form in Rivals, but I would think Ant-Man's going to work. I think Ant-Man will be a hero that we get eventually as well. Just kind of makes sense. Okay, guys, listen. Triple support is
Mysterio. That is totally Mysterio.
all the rage, right? You're healing. We need an anti-heal. People say Mysterio, the strategist. Now, this is going to be a tough one because I have a couple ones like this. Taskmaster, now Mysterio. Kind of on Loki territory, but also not really. I think he could use, the green smoke gas to be a lot.
Let's see. Look at some of these abilities real quick. He could be interesting.
AoE
Mysterio could be an interesting character. I could see somebody making Mysterio work.
healing, if you will, and he's a bit more of a AoE healer, but not as much, maybe. Is
Okay, my guy, have you lost your mind? I just read that team up suggestion you have for Mysterio. No extra Luda alts, homie.
is the way he would work. But this guy being the master of deception and anti-healing is what I could see him providing the team. I saw one idea that his ultimate would make every.
I really hated Mysterio in the Spider-Man movie. I don't know about you guys. He's better in like the old Spider-Man cartoons and in the comic books. His portrayal in the movie kind of sucked.
Buddy Mysterio, so all the allies, all the opponents to the enemies, so they don't know who's who on their team. I think that idea is so overpowered but awesome. Obviously your team would be able to tell the difference, but just being that master of trickery and illusion is a cool concept, and he would definitely be a strategist in my eyes. So Mysterio, don't know how they're gonna do him, but would be cool to see him come to the game. But
okay. This next one, I have no clue. It's definitely a female, though, based off the hair. The one after it might be Tigress. I don't know, though. Let's see.
That's where we get to tricky territory, because for the next one, Mystique. And Mystique...
Okay. Are you a Loki main, Cozy? Are you a Loki main? I feel like you're a Loki main. Taskmaster, Mysterio, Mystique. I'm getting a theme here, Cozy. Do you really like Loki, my guy? I could see her kit being more you'd play as somebody else. You could play as a duplicate of a friendly or enemy character, maybe. But I don't think Mystique ever actually copies powers when she steals people's appearances. So I don't think Mystique works in Rivals. I'll be honest. I don't think she copies powers. I think she just copies appearances. So I don't know how she would work in Rivals.
Is, again, how if we're going to have Taskmaster, how do you make this work? And listen, the perfect design I saw was this person who came up with kind of like a Sombra a little bit, right? Psylocke has that role, but this kind of stealth character that is going to be able to blend in potentially, right? So instead of copying kits, you copy the Luna and you can be the Luna. Maybe just being able to copy the appearance to blend in, and then she has like an assassin kit, right? So this idea has her where she has like double pistols that she iconically has, where they have one bullet in the chamber, but they do immense damage from behind. So maybe you transform into the Luna, you get behind the Doctor Strange, and bam, you do huge damage.
I can see that kind of working. She would be chaotic. Like copy the player's name, the player's character, sneak around on the enemy side. Just make sure you don't get hit. Because if you get hit by something other than a healer, it'd be a problem. Well, even hit by some of the healers would be a problem. I don't know how that would work with the healers that attack with damaged abilities that do damage or healing based off of his friend or foe. So it'd be interesting.
But then she's all about her flying kicks and crazy combos. Again, as we've seen her fighting someone like Wolverine in the movies. Very agile character, wrapping around people just all over the place, but then can instantly disguise herself And then if she's, attacked, maybe she can't disguise herself when you're in combat. That whole idea, I think, is different enough from Loki, but also is a cool way to have Mystique work as a duelist. I would say one of the more beloved characters in Marvel, and just a cool one to be able to see. All right, guys, few more left here. We move on to Nico Minoru. Now, some people don't know her.
I will join that club. I have no clue who this character is. Absolutely no clue. So I probably won't have much feedback on this one.
Some people do. But the idea of Nico, I would say probably being a strategist. I saw an idea where you could do she uses her health pool to be able to give healing, but also do a lot of damage. So probably more on the side of Loki in the form of more kind of DPS healing at the same time, or maybe Adam Warlock is a better example. But I could see Nico having some of the most abilities in the game, like access to a ton of different spells and the way that she works. I know in a game I play Marvel Snap, she has a bunch of spells that she can utilize. And so having that same kind of magic kit where magic goes in the portal and has her options, I think giving that to Nico, but having some type of a downside maybe would be kind of cool to her, just her lore and how she works.
I'm going to have to look into this character. I like the idea, but not knowing the character, I don't know.
But Nico would be one that I would like to see as well. Now, listen, I know what you're saying. Part 1, you got a lot of X-Men. Part 2, you can't have too many. And it's fine. I agree. But
Incoming X-Men? Is it Cyclops?
Iceman? I don't want to live in a world.
That is not Cyclops. That could be really interesting, though. I like this idea. I like this idea a lot already.
World where we don't get Iceman into Marvel Rivals. Luna Snow, I get it. Ice is her thing. But she's a strategist. Iceman being a duelist, or creating ice bridges, being able to give the entire team mobility, and it's like a draw.
They have to do the whole him skating on ice thing. That has to be like, maybe not like in combat movement, but like how Luna like amps up her like when she's moving forward, she builds up speed. When he builds up speed, he needs to be skating on ice. There is no alternative to this. If this character comes to Rivals, he has to skate on ice.
Falling bridge, the idea of shooting and freezing constantly is annoying to go up against. But if we have Human Torch, hey, maybe that works out right. Pyro.
I would like to see him maybe have a freeze ability, but also have like a freeze build up. Like the longer he channels his like ice blast, if he's doing a beam, the longer the beam's on you, the slower you move to the point where you do freeze. Or if he lands like 3 consecutive hits on you or something like that, instead of having a freeze button.
But no, I think having Iceman works out using big glaciers for AoE damage or just constant beams of attack. His kit can write itself very simply, and maybe it's a lot more of beam attacks, if you will. But the idea of being able to like skate on the ice towards your,
I am looking at this last silhouette, and I have absolutely no clue who that is.
Opponent and then freeze them. This is my childhood coming to life, and I've always wanted to be Iceman. I'm telling you. So I think Iceman is definitely a big one that I would love to see. And last but not
okay, speaking of X-Men, right? I would like to see Iceman, or Iceman, Cyclops, Colossus, Gambit. Definitely would like to see Gambit. Those are all on my wish list.
Not least, guys, we've got Thanos. All right, and
Thanos. Well, okay, we'll hear him out, but I don't see how this works. Definitely a Vanguard. I could agree with that. He would have to be a Vanguard.
And I mentioned Thanos. I don't know if they do like King Thanos or they make just regular Thanos work, but I know it's a dream of everybody. You know, you got to play him in Fortnite, whatever. But playing Thanos in Rivals would be the ultimate experience, right? Obviously, like maybe you
I don't know, buddy. I don't know if they could do him justice and not make him broken. I mean, the whole motto for Rivals is everybody's broken, so nobody's broken. But Thanos would be broken on a whole different level.
gain the Infinity Stones over time. So like you can use this
Let's not use anything with the Infinity Stones. Thank you. If you're going to put Thanos in the game, no Infinity Stones.
stones. Maybe he gets the Power Stone and his main melee is way stronger. And you get the Time Stone. You're able to manipulate. Whatever how they do it.
See, the thing with Thanos is without the stones, isn't he basically just a big brawler, dude? Like, if you don't include the stuff, I don't know. I don't see any way to do Thanos without Thanos just being the Hulk or the Thing. Unless you give him the Infinity Stones, and then he's the Hulk, the Thing, the Doctor Strange, the Vision, the, yeah. I don't think so.
But gaining the stones over time and giving him more abilities or access to more of his kit throughout the match is super cool. Like, we know when Thanos fought the Hulk, he beat the snot out of the Hulk without even trying, without the Power Stone, I think, right? To prove just how much of a Titan and Mad Titan that he is. And I think that's his base kit. But then he continues to get more and more powerful the longer the match goes on. I saw
It would be Cancer in ranked.
this ability or this hinted ultimate that people came up with, but I'm going to give a twist to it. So people said
His ultimate better. Nope. He's about to say it. I see those fingers. He's going to say snap.
ultimate should be the snap, obviously, right? And it kills both allies and enemies, half of the team and half of their team, which is funny, but trolling, right?
I'd be okay with that one. That one might be okay. No. No, never mind. That would not be okay.
However, it would be super cool that that is what would happen, but it's a damage-based thing. So, like,
Wait. Here's a flip. Instead of it being half and half, it kills one Vanguard, one strategist, and one duelist on each team. So if you run one healer or one Vanguard, you are fucked.
let's say if you plan on
Although you would still have, like, if you were in one Vanguard and one support or strategist, you would end up walking away with 3 duelists, which might not be bad because they would have one of each. I don't know. Could be interesting.
on it, you know, there's like maybe a bit of a build up to it so the, you know, enemies can be ready for it as well. It's not instantaneous, but having like Magneto bubbles and Luna ults go on for your allies to keep everybody alive. He does the snap.
I wouldn't want damage. Just delete.
And if you're not prepared, half of your team could die as a result. It's so overpowered. But Thanos is, I don't know how you do this guy without breaking him entirely, but he's got to be good and he's got to be in Rivals. And I want.
Oh, hear me out. This would probably make him the most trolly character in the game. But what if his ultimate banned half the roster? Randomly bans half the roster. So if you're playing one of the characters that get banned, you go back to respawn and you have to pick a new character. And just half the roster, half the supports, half the duelist, half the vanguards. Nobody can use them for the remainder of the game. And if he snaps again, it's half of them. Not half of the remaining ones. It's just a random new half. I think this could work. I don't know how much play he'd see, but I think that would be fun.
Want to hear y'all's idea down below. Again, there's so many different heroes to include on this list. This is just a bit of the ones that I thought would be cool in addition to my part 1. And, you know, we're going to get a lot of duelists. We know that. But, you know, I try to think of a lot of vanguards and strategists because the idea of having tons of options is.
I would honestly like to see another vanguard because we just got, well, no, Emma is a vanguard and we're getting a strategist. So I guess the next one we're going to see is probably a duelist. But I don't know. I'd like to see another vanguard again. Maybe that's me being biased because I play Vanguard a lot. And I'm excited for Ultron. Might main him for a little bit, but don't know yet. Got to see what he does. Anyways, we'll leave the link to his video in the video description down below so you guys can check it out in its entirety. If you guys are interested in more content related to Marvel Rivals, I will be streaming Rivals and other games over on Rumble, YouTube, and Twitch. Rumble being the home for all my content. All my videos come out first over on Rumble, and then we'll eventually make it over to YouTube. And the stream is in 1080p on Rumble right now and 720p everywhere else because we're using Rumble Studio to stream on Rumble. And that is how we're rebroadcasting. So right now, the stream quality is better on Rumble. Might be improving the quality on YouTube in the near future, but I think we'll leave Twitch the way it is for now. Anyways, though, if you guys have any videos you'd like to get my thoughts on related to, video games in general or rival stuff, let me know in the comment section down below. And what are you guys' thoughts on these hero suggestions? I like some of them. I really like the Daredevil and the Juggernaut. Those are the two that I want to see the most out of his list. I would also like to see Gambit. I would like to see Cyclops. I don't know about Cyclops. I'd like to see Cyclops, but I don't know how Cyclops works out. I'll be honest about that one. And I would like to see the Iceman. I really did like the Iceman idea. I also really want to see Nightcrawler. I've been a long time Nightcrawler fan, so Nightcrawler's high on my list. If you guys didn't see the part 1 of this video, I broke this reaction into 2 parts because the reaction was going to be probably like 30 or 40 minutes between the 2 halves. So we just did the first line and then we did the second line in the second video. That will be over on the Rumble page. And if you're seeing this on YouTube, it's probably already on the YouTube page as well. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And until the next video, guys, I'll see you around.